Hey, all you fellow creative cellists out there, Jacob here, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about why you can't improvise on the cello. You know, most of us started our creative journeys with some type of scale, right? Whether it was a major scale that we played over and over again against a simple bluegrass tune, or maybe a pentatonic scale that we jammed over a blues progression. But no matter how you started, and no matter what type of music you aspire to play, we all come up against the same basic issue as improvisers at one point or another, and that's the idea of playing over changes, right? Equating melody with harmony. Or another way of putting it is equating the scale systems we know with the chords and arpeggios. But have you ever noticed that if you play, say, a C-sharp major scale with our standard fingering that we all learn, and then you, say, play a C-sharp major arpeggio, or maybe use this fingering, and then you play a C-sharp major chord, that they all use completely different fingerings and take us to completely different regions of our fingerboard. Now, as I've said before in the Improviser's Guide, the scales that we play and the method of thinking behind them, right, that's very important, was developed by classical pedagogues for repertoire-based playing. In other words, they're designed to help you understand the different positions of your instrument or get your shifting chops together. And while they work well and good for that particular purpose, when it comes to improvising, or in this context, when it comes to understanding the relationship of melody and harmony, they are a colossal failure. I would say they're scandalously bad. And if we compare this to, say, our piano playing colleagues, any of you guys that have ever played the piano for a minute know that when you play an arpeggio in a chord, your fingers are basically in the exact same place, right? And even when you play scales, you're using pretty much the same system of fingering. Also, just because of the nature of the instrument, right, they don't have different fingerings and positions, you're in the same region. So is it any wonder that our piano players tend to have a lot easier time getting into improv than most of our cello playing colleagues? Think about this in the context of the guitar. Most of you that have played guitar are probably familiar with the caged system, right? Where you take a chord and use the exact same fingerings in the exact same region of the fingerboard and simply fill in the gaps in between to figure out what scales go with what chord. So is it any wonder that guitarists have a lot easier time doing that than we do? Well, I am incredibly excited to announce the Rosetta system. Think of the Rosetta system as sort of a unified field theory of understanding and playing the cello. The Rosetta system will finally allow those of you that have been studying IGC to link together melody and harmony in a way that you never thought possible and free you to achieve your full creative potential as cellists. For those of you that haven't had a chance to check out IGC yet, I want to encourage you, for less than the cost of a single private lesson, you can join our community for a month and see what the fuss is about. This is going to be an absolute revolution in cello playing, and if you're really serious about improvising on the instrument, there's nothing like it out there. I hope to see you backstage. See you next time.